Cain is deified. The clans tell tales of him. Few know the truth. He was mortal once, as were we all. However, his contempt for humanity drove him to create me and my brethren. I am Raziel, firstborn of his lieutenants. I stood with Cain and my brethren at the dawn of the Empire. I have served him a millennium. Over time, we became less human and more divine. Cain would enter the state of change and emerge with a new gift. Some years after the Master, our evolution would follow, until I had the honor of surpassing my Lord. For my transgression, I earned a new kind of reward. Agony. There was only one possible outcome: my eternal damnation. I, Raziel, was to suffer the fate of traitors and weaklings, to burn forever in the bowels of the lake of the dead. Cast him in. Tumbling, burning with white-hot fire, I plunged into the depths of the abyss. Unspeakable pain, relentless agony. Time ceased to exist. Only this torture and a deepening hatred of the hypocrisy that damned me to this hell. An eternity passed, and my torment receded, bringing me back from the precipice of madness. The descent had destroyed me, and yet I lived.
Raziel, you are worthy. I know you, Raziel. You are worthy.
What madness is this? What pitiful form is this that I have come to inhabit? Death would be a release next to this travesty.
You did not survive the abyss, Raziel. I have only spared you from total dissolution.
I would choose oblivion over this existence.
The choice is not yours.
I am destroyed.
You are reborn. The birth of one of Cain's abominations traps the essence of life. It is this soul that animates the corpse you lived in. And that, Raziel, is the demise of Nosgoth. There is no balance. The souls of the dead remain trapped. I cannot spin them in the wheel of fate. They cannot complete their destinies. Redeem yourself. Or if you prefer, avenge yourself. Settle your dispute with Cain. Destroy him and your brethren. Free their souls and let the wheel of fate churn again. Use your hatred to reave their souls. I can make it possible. Become my soul reaver, my angel of death.
Fala aí, galerinha que tá na live aí no YouTube. Como é que vocês estão? Boa noite, boa noite, boa noite. Belezinha pra vocês aí, um bom sábado pra vocês aí nessa noite aí. Trazendo pra vocês Legado de Caim Soul River. Na sequência eu vou trazer o Soul River 2 e o Defiance, valeu? Trazer pra vocês aí na sequência. Tô jogando em esse aqui em Ultra HD e os outros eu vou jogar em HD, valeu? Espero que dê tudo certo. Vamos lá, galerinha. Obrigado pela presença de todos aí. Sejam bem-vindos. Vamos que vamos, galera. Quiser ver um jogo aqui no canal, é só falar, valeu? Fala nos comentários aí. Pode ser agora, pode ser amanhã, pode ser daqui a um ano, mas se quiser deixar... Quer ver um jogo no canal? Só deixar um comentário aí e pedir, valeu? Já trouxe até o Tiny Toon aí Adventures, cara, de Olimpíada, né? Até isso eu trouxe, cara. Maninho, tu traz aí? Trago.
You are weak. You must feed.
The old hunger has left me. I have no desire
Essa
for
aqui é a
blood.
versão, tem a versão remasterizada, valeu? Você vai encontrar para jogar no teu console de última geração aí, você encontra. Essa aqui é a versão de Dreamcast, valeu? Eu tô usando um aplicativo que dá para jogar ele em Ultra HD. Dá para tu jogar até em 4K, até mais um pouco. Tá? É só uma questão da tua máquina. Você tem que configurar direitinho também, tá? Tem que botar pulo de quadro, mexer numas paradas para dar certo. Assim ele vai soluçar, o bichinho vai ficar nervoso, rapaz. A maquininha não aguenta. Tá rodando liso, pelo que eu vi até agora tá. Vamos lá, galera. Junto com vocês aí, tanto no YouTube como no TikTok, valeu? Relembrando os amigos do TikTok aí. Eu ainda tô aqui, cara. Ainda estou aqui. Valeu, pessoal. Fazendo o meu degrauzinho lá no YouTube. Valeu, crescendo lá na plataforma. Como eu também, eu cresci aqui. Sou muito grato por vocês me acompanharem, valeu? Vamos lá, galera.
What scabrous wretches are these?
Sure, the scavengers of the underworld. Their feral hunger has claimed countless souls, spirits who now shall never find their rest. These portals are your conduit between the spectral and material realms. With their aid, you may gather matter and will yourself to become manifest in the physical world. This is taxing, however. Your strength must first be fully restored. You require no conduit to return to this plane. You may abandon your physical body at any time.
Galerinha que tá na live aí, deixa eu falar uma parada pra vocês. Aqui no TikTok, no YouTube tem que fazer uma gambiarra louca pra botar você aqui, mas no TikTok é tranquilo, valeu? Se você tiver uma conta no TikTok que você consiga fazer lives, eu acho que no mínimo tem que ter 100 seguidores, né, pra fazer live, né? Se você quiser participar aqui, ó, tá vendo? É só você entrar na minha live, você que tá aqui no YouTube, é só você entrar na minha live e falar: ei, mano, sou aqui, sou o maninho lá do YouTube lá, ó. Tem como você mandar um convite pra mim, ó, tem, ó, convide, aí tem um maninho que entrou agora aqui, ó, pra convidar ele pra fazer a tela dividida, entendeu? É isso, valeu? Se você quiser, no TikTok é mais fácil ainda. Se você quiser, tiver uma conta no TikTok e já poder fazer live, você pode entrar aqui e me assistir e eu te boto aqui junto comigo na tela aqui dividida, valeu? Dá um oi pra galera aí, troca ideia. Tem até uns joguinhos aqui interativos, valendo prêmios, valeu? Eu não sei como é que funciona, depois a gente vê. Valeu, pessoal, vamos que vamos. Valeu!
Sustain your strength to prolong your manifestation in the physical world. If you fail to feed or absorb too many wounds, this fragile matter will dissolve. You are young yet, Raziel. You still retain many of your vampiric weaknesses. Immersion in water, while not fatal, will dissolve your physical body, forcing your return to the spirit world. Be aware that in the spectral realm, water has neither heft nor lift. It stands as thin as air.
What are these creatures?
Do you not recognize them? They are the children of your brother, Duma.
That's impossible. These foul, scuttling beasts could not be kin of our high blood?
Do you suppose that time stood still for you, Raziel? Much has changed since you passed from the world of men.
I knew my opponent's weaknesses, having suffered them myself. Physical wounds are fleeting. A vampire's immortal flesh begins to close as soon as it is cleaved. Vampires need only fear those wounds that impale or inflame. Water scorches like acid, and fledglings are devastated by sunlight's touch. I would have to modify my tactics to suit my foes.
Unfettered from the flesh, a creature's soul fades swiftly into the spectral realm. Draw it in quickly, Raziel, or you will be compelled to follow. Your physical prowess surpasses what you knew in life. Even massive obstacles can be moved effortlessly.
The sanctuary of the clans reduced to ruin. Beyond these walls lay the pillars of Nosgoth, the seat of Kain's empire. How humble it now appeared, collapsing into the dust of its former magnificence. And yet, I had only just emerged. In the instant between my execution and resurrection, centuries had apparently passed.
This world is wrecked with cataclysms. The earth strains to shrug off the pestilence of Kain's parasitic empire. The fate of this world was preordained in an instant by a solitary man. Unwilling to martyr himself to restore Nosgoth's balance, Kain condemned the world to the decay you see. In that moment, the unraveling began. Now it is nearly played out. Nosgoth teeters on the brink of collapse. Its fragile balance cannot hold.
This, at least, had remained constant. The endlessly swirling vortex of the abyss, my tomb, and the womb of my rebirth. Though much of Nosgoth's landscape had changed, these cliffs gave me my bearings. My clan territory was to the west. I was anxious to see how my descendants had fared during the centuries of my absence. Proud kin wiped from this world like excrement from a boot. I knew the hand that wrought this deed. I didn't recognize these flayed racks of flesh. Their scent was vampiric. They gnawed upon their victim's carcass like dogs.
This charnel house bore the unmistakable marks of Melchiah's clan. To what depths had our dynasty plummeted if these ghouls were the descendants of my high-born brother? Were they so debased as to recruit fledglings from the desiccated corpses here interred?
My brother Melchiah was made last, and therefore received the poorest portion of Cain's gift. Although immortal, his soul could not sustain the flesh, which retained much of its previous human frailty. This weakness, it seemed, was passed on to his offspring. Their fragile skins barely contained the underlying decay.
Beware, Raziel. These wraiths are vampire spirits, fettered too long in the spectral realm. When their vampire natures adapt to this plane, they become eaters of souls. Do not allow these spirits to re-inhabit their corpses.
É isso aí, galerinha. Essa primeira parte aí foi pra vocês aí o Legado de Caim Soul River em Ultra HD, valeu? Vou trazer agora o 2 pra vocês, o Legado de Caim 2, valeu? É um lá e outro cá, rapidinho. É bem rapidinho, rapaz, vai nem demorar 2 segundos, cara. Vamos lá, galera. Vamos ver como é que tá o áudio para vocês aí. Legado de Cair 2. Valeu? Soul River 2.
Cain refused the sacrifice.
At last. I must say I'm disappointed in your progress. I imagined you'd be here sooner. Tell me, did it trouble you to murder your brothers?
Did it trouble you when you ordered me into the abyss?
Eternity is relentless, Raziel. When I first stole into this chamber centuries ago, I did not fathom the true power of knowledge. To know the future, Raziel. To see its paths and streams tracing out into the infinite. As a man, I could never contain such forbidden truths. But each of us is so much more than we once were. Do you not feel with all your soul how we have become like gods? And as such, are we not indivisible? As long as a single one of us stands, we are legion. Our futures are predestined. Mobius foretold mine eons ago. We each play out the parts fate has written for us. Free will is an illusion.
I found the tomb of Sarafan, Cain. How could you profane a priest by turning him into a vampire?
How could I not? One must keep his friends close, Raziel, and his enemies even closer. Who better to serve me than those whose passion transcends all notions of good and evil?
The Sarafan were saviors, defending Nazgul from the corruption that we represent. My eyes are opened, Cain. I find no nobility in the unlife you rudely forced on my unwilling corpse.
You may have uncovered your past, but you know nothing of it. You think the Sarafan were noble, altruistic? Oh, don't be simple. Their agenda was the same as ours. You nearly had me, Raziel. But this is not where or how it ends. Fate promises more twists before this drama unfolds completely.
Redeemer and Destroyer, Pawn and Messiah. Welcome, time-span soul. Welcome to your destiny. Where am I? Is the usual question. In your case, when might be more apt.
Very well, you old snake. If you'd prefer I use my bare hands...
Well, this is completely unexpected. This orb disables our vampire enemies, leaving them helpless and incapacitated. Strangely, it seems to have the same effect on that peculiar weapon of yours. But you must believe me. I mean you no harm.
You can drop the benevolent facade, Mobius. I know who and what you are. I should kill you where you stand.
Perhaps you should, my boy. But you don't.
Are you so certain of that, Mobius?
My role as Time Guardian affords me a certain level of omniscience, Raziel. No, you don't kill me. That honor belongs to your maker, Cain, some 30 years from now.
You two are a pair. You're just as fatalistic as he is.
Death comes for us all, Raziel. It's just a matter of time.
How is it that you know my name? We have never met.
On the contrary, Raziel, I know you very well. And it grieves me to see how cruelly Cain has used you. I knew you when you were one of the Sarafan Brotherhood, Raziel. We were even close.
Oh, please.
Fortunately, you need not love me now to be my ally.
Are we within the stronghold of the Sarafan priesthood?
Yes, but the glorious days of the Sarafan have long since passed, I'm afraid. This is a more cynical and indecorous age. My mercenary army now inhabits this stronghold. We strive to honor the memory of the Sarafan with our own humble crusade.
Is this the vampire Vorador?
Yes, the scourge of the Circle, the most depraved and decadent example of his whole degenerate race. He slaughtered 6 of my fellow Guardians as they cowered defenseless in this room.
And you somehow survived this massacre?
I and 2 others. The Circle was devastated. Only we 3 were spared.
How convenient. You'll forgive me if I don't naively devour every scrap of information you toss me. You have a reputation for deceit.
And who has slandered me so? Your malefactor, Cain? The one who betrayed and destroyed you? Our common enemy? Consider the source before you judge me too harshly. We'll forget about rekindling our old friendship then, but consider an alliance based on our common ground. We both want Cain dead. I can help you do it.
You don't want to meddle in this, old man. I know all about your sordid little schemes, but you're simply out of your depth on this one.
You underestimate me, Raziel. Let me show you. Even now, Cain is lying in wait for you, unaware that I've snatched you out of the time stream and brought you here to me. See how he lingers at the very pillars he is destined to destroy, foolishly confident that he has eluded your grasp.
The pillars are still standing in this time.
Yes, Raziel. They are the embodiment of the divine force which preserves the life of our world. We who serve the pillars maintain their delicate balance, and Cain is destined to be the fulcrum upon which that balance turns. I believe you have already endured the wasteland wrought by his terrible, selfish decision. Cain's very existence is a cancer upon this world. As long as he lives, all of Nosgoth is in peril. You may never again be human, Raziel. But you can re-embrace the essence of your humanity and the nobility of your Sarafan heritage. Go to him, Raziel, and end this. But first, you will need to find your way out of the stronghold, and in this, I'm afraid I cannot help you. My soldiers will not understand your appearance here. They will try to kill you. You needn't fear them, of course. They're no match for you. Try to keep the casualties to a minimum. But do what you have to do. All great movements require a few martyrs.
Alone now, I surveyed my surroundings and noticed a second time-streaming chamber. Its entrance identical to the first, but with one distinction. That crystal was significant, but how, I had not yet discovered. Throughout the stronghold, I discovered evidence of my former nobility and my life as a Sarafan priest. This was the heritage so foully stolen from me when Cain raided my sacred crypt and defiled me.
Galerinha, trazer pra vocês aí Legado de Caim 3, valeu? É o Defiance, né? Legacy of Cain Defiance. Ele não tem mais o Soul River no título, tá? É Defiance. Valeu, vou trazer na sequência agora pra vocês.
Given the choice, whether to rule a corrupt and failing empire, or to challenge the fates for another throw, a better throw against one's destiny, what was a king to do? But does one ever truly have a choice? One can only match, move by move, the machinations of fate, and thus defy the tyrannous stars. And so I returned to the sanctuary of my enemy, the fortress of the Sarafan Brotherhood, deemed impossible for any man to penetrate. Impossible for any man. Deep within these walls, my prey awaited. Mobius, the time streamer, deceiver and eternal gamester, using living beings as his pawns.
In the end, we'd rooted out an entire nest of the fiends.
But we had swept that area already.
Not well enough, but no matter. We purged every last one of that brood with fire, may their souls now rest.
Lord Mobius will be pleased.
It was time for Mobius to answer a few questions. I hoped for his sake to find him in a forthcoming mood.
Help me! Help me! Oh, please, no.
From time to time, it is necessary to feed. And the unusual event of a feast prepared by the Sarafan must be savored.
was that? The touch of water is like acid to a vampire. I had to find another way to pass. This passage undoubtedly led to the time streamer. My prey was nearly in my grasp. But the door had been sealed by a blessed barrier. As I approached, the Reaver resonated in response. Perhaps its dark sorcery could dispel these holy barriers. Locked. What a love of doors these pathetic humans have.
This emblem was unmistakably of vampire origin and designed to enhance the Reaver's power. But this coincidence seemed too convenient. Mobius clearly meant for me to find it.
Sound the alarm!
Vampire!
Don't let him escape!
Surround him! Surrender, fiend, and we will promise you an easy death.
I could promise you the same, but it would be a lie.
Falar pra galera que tá na live aí, tu viu ali, o teu personagem ele suga sangue e a espada também suga sangue e a alma, né? Tem uma magia aqui, ó. Você apertar o quadrado e soltar, ela dá uma magia forte agora a espada. Caraca, maneiro, mano. Deixa eu soltar a magia pra gente ver como é que é. Vamos ver. Olha lá. Caraca, mano. Atrasou. Deve ter dado um slowdown ferrado no gráfico, cara. Depois eu vou diminuir a resolução, cara, pra rodar legal o jogo. Diminuir a resolução pra 600 e pouco, menos ainda. Aí vai rodar lisinho. Galerinha, esse aí é o Defiance, valeu? É o Defiance e eu joguei o Soul River 1, Soul River 2 e Defiance. Trazendo pra vocês aí, vocês podem ver aí o gráfico. Não é o gráfico não, é a história, né, mano? Esse aqui é uma sequência direta do 2, né? Dizem que isso aqui se passa entre o 1 e o 2. Não sei, sei lá. Me parece entre o 1 e o 2, parece. E mais tarde você vai jogar com o Raziel também, tá? Vai ficar entre o Caim e o Raziel. Valeu? Pessoal que tá no TikTok, quero agradecer o maninho que tá assistindo a live aí, que tá compartilhando, deixou seu like aí. Obrigado, valeu? Vou terminar a live por aqui. Galera que tá no YouTube aí também, valeu, muito obrigado. Bom sábado pra vocês. Não esqueça de deixar seu like aí pra fortalecer o canal. Valeu, pessoal? Amanhã eu tô de volta com mais conteúdo, tanto no YouTube como no TikTok também. Valeu? Vou trazer mais conteúdo pra vocês aí amanhã. Monster Hunter às 18 horas. Valeu, pessoal? E amanhã eu tô festejando aqui, entendeu? Vou tentar fazer uma live especial, mas não, acho que não é às 18 horas não. A hora que der pra eu entrar aí, deixa o sininho ativado, valeu? Se você tiver no YouTube aí, que amanhã tem mais parada pra resolver. Galera até sabe o que é. Galera que tava na live ontem aí sabe o que é. E vou compartilhar com vocês esse momento. Se der, eu compartilho esse momento amanhã. E eu faço a live às 18 horas aí. É o horário de sempre que eu faço, né? Um pouquinho mais cedo, um pouquinho mais tarde. Valeu? Um abraço.